What if everything we thought we knew about Sam Heughan and Caitríona Balfe was just a beautiful illusion? A story written not by fate, but by the whispers of millions of hearts that wanted it to be true? For years, fans have watched them, not just as Jamie and Claire on Outlander, but as two souls whose chemistry felt too real to be scripted. Every look, every touch, every shared laugh between takes became evidence in the court of public fascination. But then came the storm. The rumors, the headlines, the endless debate about whether their on-screen passion had ever spilled into real life. It started quietly, as all storms do. A blurry photo from a rap party, a quote taken out of context, a moment of hesitation during an interview. And suddenly, social media caught fire. Are Sam and Caitríona secretly in love? Is there an affair behind the cameras? Those questions spread like wildfire, reshaping how people saw them. Not as actors, but as potential lovers caught in a forbidden romance. We all remember the day tabloids ran with those stories. It was like the fandom split in two. Those who believed in their connection, and those who called it pure fantasy. But what no one talked about enough was the pressure that came with it. Because behind the flashing lights and photo ops, Sam Heughan was still a man. One who had to carry not just the weight of his fame, but the burden of constant speculation about the woman who had become his artistic counterpart. Caitríona, on the other hand, played her role with quiet grace. She never denied their closeness, but she never confirmed the whispers either. "We're great friends," she would say with that calm, knowing smile, the kind that left everyone wondering what lay behind it. And maybe that's what kept the mystery alive, the fact that she didn't need to say more. For us, the audience, it was easy to romanticize them. To imagine that between long shooting days in the Scottish Highlands, something deeper bloomed. That when Sam looked into Caitríona's eyes, he wasn't acting, he was feeling. That maybe, just maybe, Jamie and Claire were more than fiction. But for Sam, the rumors weren't always flattering. They followed him everywhere, through interviews, red carpets, even into his private life. Every time he was seen with someone else, the world rushed to compare her to Caitríona. Every smile he shared became a headline, every silence, an accusation. Fame, as it turned out, wasn't a spotlight, it was a magnifying glass. There were moments when Sam himself seemed tired of the constant gossip. In one rare interview, he hinted that people often forgot the human cost of fame. How hard it was to keep parts of yourself sacred when everyone wanted a piece of your truth. His words were simple, but they carried a quiet sadness. It's funny how people think they know you. Caitríona understood that burden too. Her own personal life became a target, especially after her marriage. Fans speculated, questioned, and sometimes even attacked her for not choosing Sam. It was as if the world refused to let their favorite couple exist only in fiction. And that, perhaps, was the real scandal, not the alleged affair, but the collective fantasy that refused to end. Still, there's something magnetic about the bond they share. Watch any behind-the-scenes clip and you'll see it. That effortless comfort, the playful teasing, the unspoken trust. It's rare in Hollywood, where most connections fade when the cameras stop rolling. But Sam and Caitríona's energy feels different. It's grounded, mature, almost spiritual, like two people who've seen each other's souls through the eyes of their characters and never quite looked away. So, were the rumors true? Or were they simply reflections of what we all wanted to believe, that such chemistry could only come from real love? Maybe the truth lies somewhere in between. Because love doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it hides behind friendship, professionalism, and unspoken understanding. And as the cameras kept rolling, season after season, that line between performance and reality blurred just enough to make us wonder. Were we witnessing a story written by writers, or by destiny itself? One thing's for sure. Every glance, every smile, every word left unsaid between them has only fueled the mystery further. And as we move deeper into Caitríona's hidden love story, we might just find that the real truth was never in the rumors, but in what they chose not to say. As the lights fade and the cameras stop rolling, we're left with a question that lingers like a haunting melody. Who are Sam Heughan and Caitríona Balfe when no one is watching? Behind the elegance and laughter lies something quieter, an unspoken tenderness that doesn't need confirmation to be real. Because sometimes, love doesn't scream, it whispers. And in their case, it whispered through glances, gestures, and the kind of connection that can't be rehearsed. Caitríona Balfe has always carried herself with the calm composure of someone who understands the cost of fame. Long before Outlander, she had already navigated the chaos of the fashion world, where beauty often came with loneliness. Acting, for her, wasn't just a new chapter, it was a refuge. And then came Sam, this kind, grounded Scotsman whose warmth cut through the distance of Hollywood. When they met, something shifted. It wasn't love at first sight, it was something subtler, deeper. They found rhythm in their work, balance in each other's presence. On screen, they burned like fire. Off screen, they existed like two constellations orbiting the same gravity. They didn't need to touch to feel connected, the world could feel it for them. Yet as their fame grew, so did the walls they had to build. Caitríona, in particular, learned to hide her emotions behind that poised smile. She once said in an interview, "Privacy is a form of sanity." Perhaps that was her quiet rebellion, choosing peace over gossip, truth over spectacle. And when she married, it wasn't a betrayal of the fandom's fantasy. It was a reminder that she was human, not a character to be written into someone else's dream. Still, even after her wedding, the energy between her and Sam didn't fade. If anything, it evolved. Watch them together, and you'll see it, that rare, almost sacred comfort that exists only between people who've shared something transformative. It's not romantic in the conventional sense, it's something purer, like two souls who have already walked through fire together and survived. For Sam, that connection has always been both a gift and a burden. The world fell in love with Jamie Fraser, the romantic hero, but few stopped to see the man beneath the role. Sam once admitted that fame could be isolating, that people often projected their fantasies onto him. It's easy to imagine how exhausting that must feel, to be adored for someone you play, rather than someone you are. And yet, every time Sam speaks about Caitríona, there's a softness in his voice, respect, admiration, and maybe something even deeper, hidden between the lines. "She's my best friend," he often says. Simple words, but the way he says them carries weight, the kind of affection that time and fame can't erode. We, as the audience, often crave definitions. We want to know what something is, friendship, love, or something in between. But what if the beauty of their story lies in the fact that it refuses to fit into any category? What if the truest connections are the ones that exist beyond names, beyond labels? In a way, their relationship mirrors Outlander itself, timeless, bittersweet, marked by devotion and distance. Just as Jamie and Claire are often separated by time and fate, Sam and Caitríona are bound by an invisible thread that no rumor can fully explain. It's not about forbidden love or secret affairs. It's about two people who understand each other in a world that constantly misunderstands them. And maybe that's why their story continues to fascinate us. Because deep down, we recognize something profoundly human in it, that yearning to be seen, to be understood, to share a bond that words can't define. There's a moment, a small one, from a behind-the-scenes clip during the filming of Outlander. The crew is laughing, chaos all around. Sam makes a joke, Caitríona laughs, and for a split second, he looks at her with a softness that stops time. It's not passion, it's peace. The kind of look that says, "I'm glad you exist." That's the story no headline can capture. The one that doesn't need to be sensationalized or exposed. Because sometimes, the greatest love stories are not the ones lived loudly, but the ones protected in silence. Maybe that's Caitríona's hidden love story. Not a secret romance, but a testament to connection. To the kind of love that respects boundaries, honors friendship, and survives the chaos of fame. And maybe Sam's greatest act of love has always been protecting that silence, choosing not to define what doesn't need to be defined. Because in the end, some stories aren't meant to be confessed. They're meant to be felt. So as the curtain falls and the screen fades to black, we're left with one lingering thought. Perhaps the most beautiful kind of love is the one that doesn't need to prove itself at all.